Bam!
Welcome. How are you guys doing? Another episode of our podcast, Extract Talks. How are you guys? I'm joined here with Jared and got you guys going on. We're going to talk today a little bit about operational excellence.
Yes,
it's a hot topic. Okay, everybody's wondering, scratching their head, saying, "Okay, it was such a fast race to the bottom, and we want to find where all the pennies are so we can pound them out, right?"
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you got to pinch a farthing until it screams. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. We're going to talk about operational excellence today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Right. It's going to be a narrative. Guys can tell I'm slacking. Actually, I'm talking to you guys a lot on the phone, and I'm like, okay, this is really energizing me because now I'm like, oh, yeah, people are really talking about operational excellence. Now's the time to really think about it. Yeah. And so that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you a little bit of a narrative, basically some of the tools that you would use. And then we're going to back that up, of course, with a presentation that's going to come up afterward and some tables of data. It's going to be good. But let me kind of back up a little bit and kind of tell you a little bit about my story about how I became a true believer. Do we have any little music, like piano music? Get a little sentimental music. Back in the olden days when I walked 2 miles to school. Okay, basically, here's the deal. Okay, I used to work for this little company. When I got out of graduate school, I worked for this little tiny company. It was great. It was 25 people, probably maybe about 6-7 million in sales. It was a small company, engineering company. And what they did was they made basically gas liquid separations equipment. So we extruded, a material called Teflon AF, which was really awesome. Yep. And we had all kinds of fun times there. And I kind of cut my teeth on, basically small company culture. And it was really awesome. I had a great mentor there who just, helped me learn the ropes of business because I had no business background at all, but I had interest in that. Yep. Anyway, these guys, as soon as I got there, like within 2 months, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to sell the company." Okay. So so they asked me, "Okay, well, does that scare you or does that concern you?" I'm like, "Heck no, that sounds really fun. So let's do it." Yeah. Anyway, so the company bought us, and I'm not going to name the company, but they had a big, what they called operational excellence initiative. And what that means is the CEO gets up in front of a bunch of analysts and they say, "Oh, we're operationally excellent. And so we have all these toolbox and we're pounding the pennies because, we're in these markets that are only growing at 4 or 5%. I mean, why are they doing that anyway? Right. Not that I'm saying that that's bad, but okay, whatever, so we need to be able to compete on every level. So we need to value sell and we need to have operations that are very excellent and everything." So they came in like the Imperial stormtroopers, into us. We were like, "Wow, what are these guys doing here?" They sent a team to us, and we did all kinds of stuff. Like we did Kaizen, and we did we did value stream mapping, and we kind of leaned out the facility. It was amazing what we ended up doing there, though, and that's where I became a really true believer. We leaned out one particular work cell, and it was crazy. We had thousands and thousands and thousands of people in pieces in work in progress. This is inventory, okay? Yep. And when you think about inventory, you see on the shelves at Walmart or whatever, or Target or whatever, Walgreens or Costco, Save-On, whatever. We're not promoting whatever big box store you want to go to. That's fine with me. I don't care. Right. But just you see all the inventory. That's just stacks of money sitting there, and they figured out a way. Like these retailers have figured out a way to really manage all that, right? And from a manufacturing standpoint, a lot of times it can be inefficient. Yep. So if you use a process to really pound the pennies out of it and make sure you don't have inventory in between, build up in between, that your processes and labor and all of the issues related to cycle time, instrument uptime, instrument downtime, if those are all taken care of, then you can actually calculate the cost of all that stuff. Okay. And when you make your changes, you can say, "Oh, well, we saved the company $200,000.
Right.
Okay.
And you can put a price tag.
Yeah, you can put it, but because it costs money to have that inventory. Right. It costs money to have all that waste. And so we took a work cell that actually had thousands and thousands of pieces of whip, and we brought it down to like literally one piece of whip.
Right.
Okay. And then you calculate it like, wow, that's really costing us a lot of money. Okay. Yeah. It's not just that, it's the soft costs. And there's hard savings, and then there's soft savings associated with activities like that. So during the course of that, we also took basically the footprint and the size of the work cell, and we brought it down. We probably reduced it by at least 80%.
All right.
So it was huge. There's people. Well, the reason it had to be so big is because they were having the carts and they're moving around all the inventory from stuff, right from place to place. When there's only one piece, you don't need that amount of stuff. So they gave you the operational excellence frontal lumbotomy. Oh, right. And they said, "Oh, okay, you will be operationally excellent. We will be operationally excellent." And we all we were like, "Yes, we did it." So that's how it all went down. And so it was really cool because you could actually see the changes that you made have a bottom line impact on the company. Right. And what it does is financially, it impacts the balance sheet, which for those of you who are in the financial world, that's a really big deal. They're called balance sheet levers. And, anything you can do to improve free cash flow by, for example, reducing your inventory by 80% or whatever. And so there's a toolbox of things that you would use. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to go talk about those tools. Okay. One of them is called value stream mapping.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but it's kind of cool. It really involves a process of going and seeing. You go see stuff, and you write the process down. You write where all the inventory down. You write down how much time it takes, and then you go out and you do timings of how long it takes.
Right.
And then all the operators are like, "Oh man, this is crazy."
Yeah,
we don't want. They're gonna hear they're here. They're stopwatching me now. I'm gonna lose my job. It's not good. And then the cameras come, and it's like, oh my word! And then they're all getting nervous and everything. Like in that one cell, that one work cell that I just told you that we kind of leaned out.
Yep.
We had like 20 people in that work cell. I mean, there were a lot of people, not 20. That was a total exaggeration. There were like 5 or 6 of them in there.
Yeah.
And we reduced it to literally 2 people. So you got a 50% plus reduction. They were freed up to do other stuff. I mean, they weren't let go or anything like that.
Right.
So anyway, so
just trimming the fat. Finding the
waste.
Where you can save money, and keeping all that inventory on hand just doesn't make sense.
Right. I mean, So value stream mapping is one of those tools. Mm-hmm. And so then there's also what they call a lean toolbox. Okay. And basically they're operational jujitsu moves.
All right.
Okay, so the first karate chop, I'm just totally mixing everything up here. Jujitsu, karate chop. Okay, the first karate chop is a word called Kaizen. And that is like rapid change, okay. So you Kaizen something, and there's a Kaizen process, and it's really cool. You have like a spreadsheet, and you have all your Kaizen tools on there, and that's really where you do all the timings, and then you do what they call load leveling, which means you take a look at the different steps of the process and the different people in the process, and you say, okay, well, you don't need to have 2 pieces of labor over there. You don't need to have 2 pieces of labor over here. You only need to have one person do both of those. And sometimes, if you don't think about it and plan it out and actually do the math and do the work, so many people they don't do the math.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's one thing to have an idea and think it's going to work well, but unless you
gotta do the math.
Yeah.
Did you see my new moniker on there? Theory guides.
Yep.
What is it? Data decides.
Yep.
I actually stole that. Okay, but I didn't really steal it. And I think I told you that before. It came from Koltoff.
It's semi-original.
It's semi-original. Yep. It came from Professor I.M. Koltoff. And so that was, he said, theory guides, experiment decides. And I thought, just a little twist on it,
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with a little improvement.
Because we're kind of data-driven, right? And that's really what we're talking about here.
Absolutely.
You have to have the right systems set in place so that you can, kind of help yourself in terms of understanding what your value-added labor is versus your non-value-added labor.
Yep.
We talked about that with IGW when we did our IGW podcast, right?
Yep.
So if I take 8 hours to do a 1-hour process where my only value-added time is 1 hour process,
right?
The people who are your manager should actually know that.
Right. They should be in tune. Hey, it's taking this
Even
guy a
though
little
you might
longer
enjoy the 7 hours that is non-value added.
Right.
It has to do with, walking out the back door and everybody
Eating
standing around
pancakes and,
smoking their cigarettes. Eating pancakes and things like that. I don't know about that, what's going on there, but eating pancakes, whatever. We have a really big ghost problem here in our facility also.
Yes.
So that's been something.
If we we got any cannabis ghost hunters out there, get a hold of us. We'll get you in.
And we need to get some of those electro measurements, right? Those whatever they have, those field measurements.
They do all sorts of crazy stuff. I used to watch that Ghost Hunters.
What do you? Can you imagine taking and closing up those clean room boxes? And then, do you remember that one movie called The Blair Witch Project?
Oh,
you remember that?
Yeah.
That's
that was. I think their marketing was genius with that.
Okay, I totally got sick as I was like, I literally got
the first found footage because
when you're looking at it, you see those like extreme bikers. When they speed it up and you're watching the screen, I literally get like sick. I'm like, I don't feel good. I don't feel so good. I get like seasick just watching it. So
flying down a mountain and the camera's just shaking
because I'm watching it on my 87-inch TV. So I'm really in the experience. All right, so Kaizen is a secondary tool. Okay, there's also other things that people just normally would use, like what's called the FMEA, which is a failure mode analysis. Okay, to try to problem solve, and then that's kind of linked up with this whole idea of Six Sigma. And what the idea of Six Sigma is it's a set of tools, mathematical, statistical tools that you would use to really statistically show the capability of a process, whether or not there was issues in identifying and solving issues, and using measurement tools and measurement processes to do that. So, of course, the IGW is your IoT system for your facility. So, anybody who's in Six Sigma, should be really like, sign me up.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so those are just some overviews of tools. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be really going through, a couple of those tools in more detail, specifically the value stream mapping, which I am a huge fan of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't believe what would happen if you actually, if you get up out of your chair and you just go walk the value stream. Just go walk it. Why don't you just go try that? Take one little molecule or one little pile of bud, and I'm going to follow that all the way through. Just see what happens, and then think about what happens to the material and what happens to the information. The information, you will find out the information flow is probably extremely challenging. So and how's that recorded and all that stuff.
Right.
And where is it recorded? Who records it? Oh, you mean you have that notebook? Where's that? What's the notebook? Oh, look at that. Well, that notebook's filled. I can't use that one. We got to use a new one. So, just put it. So they're writing it in the margins and
corner down
taking
there.
it in the corner, whatever. But anyway, go walk the line. Yeah, that was a good movie, by the way. Yeah, I like that. That was pretty good. Johnny Cash. So what's your favorite Johnny Cash song?
Oh, I'm thinking of Walk Hard.
Oh, you're thinking of Walk Hard. No, I'm thinking Walk the Line.
All right. I think it might have to be a movie night.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No. Mine is the, I like the one where he's got the, what is it? The Folsom Prison Blues.
Oh, yeah. That's a good song.
Yeah. Well, that's probably everybody's favorite Johnny Cash song.
Yeah. You're the train.
Yeah, hear the train coming. Yeah, that's it. We need to get a couple beers and sing it.
And then the Ring of Fire.
That's a good one. Oh, yeah, Ring of Fire. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, yeah. So for those of you who are international friends, Johnny Cash is, a legend.
He's the man.
He's the man. Yeah, he definitely influenced all genres of music for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And in his later years, he's no longer with us, but in his later years, he spent in his American 4, 5, and 6 albums. I think he did a lot of collaborative work. Tom Petty, he did some work with that. I think he did
9 Inch Nails.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Hurt.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That was good. But then he's got some good ones in there. So anyway, I think that's all for today. And next time we will get into some very gruesome details. Put on your hard hats and your elbow pads because we are going to get rough. We're going to get rough. There's going to be tables galore. Your eyes are just going to be like, psh.
Bring your notebooks.
Bring your notebooks, bring your pads. Bring your pad. You make sure you bring at least 2 ballpoint pens because the first one's going to run out just from the copious notes that you're taking. And so anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll check you next week. Sounds good. See ya.
Bye.
Bam!